was on the cross yet. He never fulfilled what was supposed to happen yet. So that's why I say the time had not yet come. Division and unbelief. All right. When the crowds heard him say this, some of them declared, surely this man is the prophet. So some people heard him saying all of this that he was saying. It was like, surely this man is the man we've been looking for. He's the Messiah. And they was calling him a prophet and everything. We've been expecting. This got to be him, some of them were saying. Others said, he is the Messiah. Still, others said, but he can't be. So some were saying, yeah, man, that's he is God in the flesh. Others like, no, this can't be. Will the Messiah come from Galilee? Some people asked. For the scriptures clearly state that the Messiah will be born of the royal line of David in Bethlehem, the village where King David was born. So the crowd was divided about him. So some people wanted to believe and some people wasn't believing. They was divided. Some even wanted him arrested, but no one laid a hand on him. Some of the people was like, man, arrest that ball. Arrest him. Arrest him. When the temple guards returned without having arrested Jesus, the leading priests and the Pharisees demanded, why didn't you bring him in? So the people who wanted him killed and everything, it was like, why didn't y'all bring him in? Where he at? Y'all supposed to have him in chains. He's supposed to be arrested. What y'all doing? We have never heard anyone speak like this. So the people who were supposed to arrest him, look what they said. Man, we ain't never heard nobody speak like this. We have never heard nobody talk like this. The guards responded. So the people who were supposed to arrest him responded and said, we ain't never heard nobody ever talk like this before. Have you been led astray too? The Pharisees mocked. So they was clowning the very people who was sent to go arrest Jesus. The people who sent them to go do that are now clowning them. And like, man, he played y'all too? Like he got in y'all head too? That's what they were trying to say. Same thing how you were saying. Like certain people will say, oh, your family member, he get in your head, whatever. That's the same thing. This is the same thing happening. Is there a single one of us rulers of Pharisees who believe in him? This foolish crowd follows him, but they are ignorant of the law. God curses on them. Then Nicodemus, the leader who had met with Jesus earlier, spoke up. Is it illegal to convict a man before he is given a hearing? He asked. They replied, are you from Galilee too? Search the scriptures and see for yourself. No prophet ever comes from Galilee. So they didn't want to believe that Jesus was who he said he was, because there was like no prophet has ever come from Galilee. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. But they didn't know that he actually is who was promised to come. Then the meeting broke up and everybody went home. Everybody went their own way. This is number 8. A woman caught in adultery. You know what? Go up in your phone again. Type in adultery for me real quick so Brian can know what it means. A woman caught in adultery. This is a good topic. This is one of my favorite Bible topics I ever read.
Adultery. It's voluntary.
What it mean?
Voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not his or her spouse.
So all right. You see how me and I remarried? If I go sleep with somebody else, that's adultery. Like I'm cheating. Like you're cheating. That's what adultery is.
Right.
I'm cheating. Me and I remarried, that's a covenant. I mean, we are one now. When you get married, when you get your wife, y'all one now. But if I go out and I cheat, that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm cheating on somebody who I'm one with, who I made a promise before God that I'm gonna be with for life. Like that's wrong. That's adultery. But all right, a woman caught in adultery. Y'all pay attention to this. So if we say that adultery is cheating, it say a woman caught in adultery. So a woman that was caught cheating. All right, that's the topic that we're talking about. Jesus returned to the Mount of Olives, but early the next morning, he was back again at the temple. So the same temple he was just at, where they wanted to arrest him at and all of that, and he was preaching, he returned again. All right? A crowd soon gathered, and he sat down and taught them. Now, think about the videos we'd be watching, Dory Love, Christ Forgiveness, and all of that. A crowd always gather somehow at the preaching of the Word of God. Like I told you, I could go to Taco Bell and start preaching in front of that. A crowd will gather. Would they like what I want to say? Some of them might, but most of them won't. Because the preaching of the Word of God, it irritates some people because it brings forth conviction.
That's true.
It do. It brings forth conviction. It'll make you feel like, oh, I mean, you talking about me or something. And I may not even know the person, but God can speak through people. But, all right, it's what it says. A crowd soon gathered, and he sat down and taught them. As he was speaking, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. So, picture this. Jesus preaching. He preaching at the same spot where they wanted to arrest him, but he preaching. And next thing you know, here come these people who are religious and they enforce the law and everything. And the Pharisees, they're some hypocrites. Here they come with a lady who, and it was like, they stopped Jesus from preaching everything. It was like, look, we got a lady who was caught cheating. Like they brought her by her neck, everything. Look, she got caught cheating. They put her in front of the crowd. So stop Jesus from teaching from what he was doing and put this lady in front of the crowd, trying to shame her and everything. Teacher, they said to Jesus, this woman was caught in the act of adultery, meaning she was caught cheating. The law of Moses says to stone her, meaning like stone her means to like hit her with rocks till she died. Like that's what they said the law of Moses says. So they said, what do you say? Like what you got to say about this? What should we do? What they basically was trying to do, they were trying to trick Jesus, trying to use something against him, basically. That's what they're trying to do. But he saw through that already. You can't play the Messiah. He already knew what they was trying to do. So number 6, they were trying to trap him. There you go. It said that they were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. So that's the only reason why they did it. They were trying to use something against him. But Jesus stooped down. So this is what Jesus did. He didn't even respond to them. He stooped down and he wrote in the dust with his finger. So picture this is some dust. Jesus got down on his knee and he wrote something. He didn't even respond to them what they said. He wrote something in the dust. That's what he did. He wrote something in the dust with his finger on the ground. They kept demanding an answer. So he stood up again and said, all right. So they kept on saying, man, we want to answer. We want to answer. He said, all right. But let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone. So he told them, all right, yeah, that's correct. Like a woman caught in adultery, she should be stoned. But let the person who did not sin do it. If you can say that you didn't sin, ever commit a sin, ever break the law, you should be the one that should pick up a stone and throw it and hit her. Now, guess what happened? None of them could do it because every single person broke God's law before. Every single person did something that God said don't do. Because none of us are perfect. We all messed up sometime in life. Especially when you ain't got God's spirit, you operate in the flesh daily. You don't know how to operate by the spirit yet. Then, all right, when the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one. So the people who brought her, try to accuse her in front of everybody, they start to disappear. Like they start to back away one by one. They slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. So they all disappeared. Every last one of them, they start to shoot out after he said that. Then Jesus stooped up again and said to the woman, where are your accusers? So the same woman, the people who brought her, they all shot out. Everybody left. To the point it was only her and Jesus left. And Jesus said, when the woman looked up, he said, where are your accusers? Where the people who was accusing you at? They was gone. They wasn't there no more. Didn't even one of them condemn you? That's what Jesus asked. And the lady responded, no, Lord, she said. And Jesus said, neither do I. Go and sin no more. So Jesus said basically that he forgave her. And he said, neither do I. Meaning I'm not going to hold you accountable for this no longer. He forgave her. And the same people who was trying to accuse you, which was man, was trying to accuse her. God had already forgave her. And he said, neither do I, so go and sin no more. Meaning, don't do it no more. I forgive you for whatever wrong it is you're doing, whatever wrong you have been doing. Now go and do it no more. Meaning, be done with it. Now that I forgave you, be done with it. Now, if the lady would backdoor and go do that same thing again, she would be wrong. She would be wrong for doing that, right? Because you basically, it's like you slapping God in the face. Because God forgave you.
Not to cut you off, but Jesus, the light of the world. I'm going to read that one.
All right.
Jesus, the light of the world. Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, I am the light of the world.
Uh-huh.
If you follow me, you won't have to walk in the darkness because you will have the light that leads to life.
All right, hold on. What you think that means? Jesus is the light of the world. What that mean?
Like he's mighty of God. He's power. He's that.
So this world is dark. This world is evil, right? It's wicked. Like it's a wicked world. And Jesus is saying that he is the light. And he said, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, meaning if you follow, you do as he say, you do the ways of him, you won't have to walk in darkness, meaning you won't have to go through stuff that is evil, stuff that is just terrible, because you will have the light that leads to life. You're going to have him. You can continue reading 13. The Pharisees.
The Pharisee replied, you are making those claims
about yourself.
Such testimony is not valuable.
So the people who were some hypocrites, they was like, man, you saying that about yourself, man. That's not valid. You can't validate that. Like what you saying, it can't be true because you just a man saying that about yourself. They basically was trying to say like prove what you're saying to be true.
All right. Jesus told them these claims are valid even though I make them about myself. For I know where I come from and where I am going, but you don't know this about me. You judge me by human standards. But I do not judge anyone, and if I did, my judgment would be correct.
In every respect.
In every respect, because I am not alone. The Father who sent me is with me. Your own law says that if two people agreed about something, their witness is accepted as facts. I am witness, and my Father who sent me is the other.
Is the other.
Where is your Father? That's a question.
That's what they asked. The people asked, where your Father at? So basically what's going on right now, I see this as Jesus basically checking them ball straight to their face. This is me seeing this as Jesus checking them with righteousness. He telling the truth. He ain't saying a lie. All right. I'm gonna read it again. Jesus told them these claims are valid. They was basically trying to say, man, what you saying don't hold no weight because you saying that about yourself. And Jesus replied to them, these claims are valid that I'm saying about myself. For I know where I came from and where I'm going. So he's saying, I know where I came from heaven, and I know where I'm going at once I leave from here. He know already. But you don't know this about me. That's what he told them people. Y'all don't know this about me. You judge me by human standards, by the way humans think. But I do not judge anyone. So he said, I don't judge anyone. And if I did, my judgment would be correct in every respect because I'm not alone. He was saying, God, the Father who sent me, is with me. And your own law says that if two people agree that something is accepted as fact. So if me and you agree that this wall is black, if we tell Brian that wall is black, he gonna agree with us because me and you already agreed that wall is black. We're not crazy. But all right, your own law said that if two people agree that something their witness is accepted as fact. I am one witness, and my Father who sent me is the other. Where's your Father? They asked. You can continue reading, Brian.
Well, it said Jesus made these statements.
No,
Jesus answered, since you don't know who I am, you don't know who my Father is. So this is what Jesus told the people. We're on verse 19. A little under. Jesus answered.
Oh, I see where I'm at.
You can read it. Jesus answered.
Jesus answered, since you don't know who I am, you don't know who my Father is. If you knew me, you would also know my Father. Jesus made these statements while he was teaching in the section
of the temple
known as the treasury. But he was not arrested because his time had not yet come.
So, unbelieving people warned. But this right here, this is very important. I'm going to tell you why it's important. Jesus answered, since you don't know who I am. So if somebody say that, oh, I knew God, but they say they don't know Jesus, you're a liar. Because how can you say you know the Father, but you don't know the Son? You're a bold-faced liar. Since you don't know who I am, you don't know who my Father is. You don't know who God is. And if you knew me, if you knew Jesus, you would also know my Father. You would also know God. Because he is God. He was basically telling them, you would know this. He was telling them without having to tell them. Only those with ears to hear would understood. Jesus made these statements while he was teaching in the section of the temple known as the treasury. But he was not arrested because his time had not yet come. Why they keep repeating that? His time had not yet come. The time for him on the cross, it wasn't yet. So that's why the people couldn't arrest him. They couldn't touch him. They couldn't do nothing yet. And the people he would just be able to leave out or dip out or slip away. Nah, it say the unbelieving people warn. You can let Ryan read that one. The unbelieving people warn.
Later Jesus said
21.
Later Jesus said to them again, I am going away. You will search for me, but will die in your sin. You cannot come where I'm going.
So where he going?
He going to heaven.
He going to heaven. And where they going? If they can't go to heaven, where they going?
Burn in hell.
Hell. That's what he basically was telling them. All right.
The people asked, is he planning to commit suicide? What does he mean? You cannot come where I'm going.
So they didn't understand. They was like, what that boy talking about? What he mean they can't come where I'm going? Like, is that boy about to try to kill himself? That's what they were saying.
Jesus continued, you are from below, I am from above. You belong to this world?
I do not.